Ashton Jeanty, 3 carries, -1 yards in his preseason debut. Not really shining or standing out in training camp. Should you avoid him? Where should you draft him? That's what this video is going to be all about. I'm going to talk about the other rookies, running backs as well. So please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit walterfootball.com for tons of content. We have NFL mock drafts, fantasy football rankings, sleepers, busts, top values. We have picks against the spread. We grade every signing. We grade every trade. We give disaster ratings to every major injury, like the Rashawn Slater injury, which we'll discuss in this video as well. So, and it's all free at walterfootball.com. So check us out. All right. So Ashton Jeanty in his preseason debut against the Seahawks, 3 carries, -1 yards. The Raiders played their starters on that drive, so it's not like Jeanty was out there on his own with backups. Geno Smith was out there. Jacoby Myers is out there. So the Raiders played the starters, and so there's some panic setting in. Some people had Jeanty going in the first round. I've seen him go in the first round quite a bit. As you know, I've done a ton of fantasy football drafts in best ball. I've done 145 drafts so far this summer. It's a little crazy, but I have all the data, and like Jeanty is usually going in between like 107 and 204. So I'm really not drafting him there. We've had Charlie Campbell on the show, and he said, Charlie Campbell, by the way, the most accurate mock drafter in the world, because he has part of the reason is because he has so many great sources. Charlie told us after speaking to 2 highly ranked Raider sources, who not just like scouts or anything. These are higher ups in the organization. He came away saying that he wouldn't draft Ashton Jeanty until the 3rd round. And some people called him crazy at the time when they listened to the video, but it's kind of looking like Charlie's right as usual. Charlie's I want to say like always right. No one's 100% right, but Charlie has a better track record than anyone in the industry, even Mel Kiper, Todd McShay, even rich virtue signaling weirdos on X, Matt Miller. So Charlie's always right about the stuff, and he was really down on Jeanty because for a few reasons. One is because Genty's not necessarily going to play on 3rd downs very often. Raiders don't trust him in pass protection right now. 2, he had a big workload last year. He had like 400 touches at Boise State. Everyone's down on Saquon Barkley because of his big workload last year. Jeanty had the same workload. Now, Jeanty doesn't have the injury history that Barkley has, so let's say Barkley is at higher risk for injury, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like the Raiders are going to necessarily just give Jeanty all the entire workload. For a rookie, it just seems reckless. There's still adjustment to the NFL. I think back to the Falcons 2 years ago, everyone drafted Bijan Robinson, or Bijan, I guess he's called now, in the 1st round, and that was a disaster because billionaire Arthur Smith, he gave Tyler Algier a bunch of work, and at the time, everyone thought he was crazy. But this is just how coaches act in the NFL. It's pretty rare for rookies to get a big workload like this. It just doesn't really happen that often. And so obviously Pete Carroll is not Arthur Smith, but Pete Carroll's done this crap before. The Seahawks, they spent a 1st round pick on Rashad Penny, who ended up having a good season down the road, but as a rookie, he was barely used. And so 1st rounder, barely used. Jeanty's going to be used a lot. He's going to be the starter. But you're going to see a lot more Raheem Mostert than you want. And I think a lot of people who draft Jeanty are going to be pretty angry at Pete Carroll and pretty angry at Raheem Mostert. Like, why is Mostert getting 40% of the touches here? It might be 60-40 to start, maybe eventually 70-30, but I think down the stretch in the season, Jeanty will be better. But I think Charlie's right. I would draft him ideally like early 3rd round. And I have on the screen here, so you can see my exposures to rookie running backs, like not like late round scrubs. I excluded them from this because I have like a lot of Brashard Smith just in case Isaiah Pacheco goes down, but that's like an 18th round pick. It's not like a serious player. These are my the quote unquote starting or adjacent starting running backs. As you can see, I have 9% Hampton and 5% Jeanty. It's actually more Jeanty than I thought. I thought it'd be like 3% or something. But I do have guests on. We do live drafts all the time on the stream, which usually most weekdays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. On the After Dark show. So some people will alternate picks, and some people might say, okay, let me take Jeanty here. And so I have no control over that. So I think that's kind of like where this is playing in. I think like personally, my own drafts, I think I've taken him like 3% of the time. Like usually it's like mid second round. If he falls there, I'm like, okay, I don't have much Jeanty. Let me get him there. But I have other running backs ahead of him. I have Bucky Irving ahead of him. I have Chase Brown, who, by the way, was awesome on Thursday night. I have him ahead of him. I have Josh Jacobs ahead of him. So Jeanty is in my rankings is 10th. Omarion Hampton's the 11th, and Hampton right now is going in the third round. So kind of makes sense. Jeanty late second, early third, whereas Hampton like early third, mid third. That's kind of ideally where I would take him. And so I've only taken Jeanty for the exposure. Like if I'm doing only one draft with like, my friends, this is like, I've been in a draft in this league since 2003. It's not like huge money, but it's significant money. And so this is only one draft, one shot. So like, I'm not going to take Jeanty mid second when ideally I would take him like late second, early third, but someone's going to take him earlier than that. So I'm just not going to get to him, and I'm going to miss out on Jeanty, and I'm fine with that. Rookie running backs taken at the top of the draft have usually disappointed. It's been the mid-round rookies and late-round rookies who have thrived, like Bucky Irving, for example. His ADP last year was 15th round. I had him on my sleepers page, on which you can see on the website. It's pretty high up on the homepage, the link there. So of these rookie running backs, according to their value, this is how I like them. Travion Henderson right now is 10%. He's rising. I'm taking him more often. He's so great on third downs. Like usually rookie running backs, they tend to not play third downs because they're not trusted in pass protection. I'm taking Travion Henderson because he is trusted in pass protection. In fact, he might be one of the best pass protectors in the NFL already, just not rookies, just overall. So he has all the third down work, and Stevenson is not very good. He was benched twice last year, so he could take the full workload there. He could be a monster, a league winner in the 5th round, late 5th, early 6th. That's usually where he's going. Sometimes he goes a little earlier, and then I'm just not getting him. But if he's there on the board late 5th, I'm just snap taking him. Henderson and Blue is like an 11th rounder, so that's why I have him 10%. He's an explosive player. He's the best runner the Cowboys have. He's better than Javonte Williams. Miles Sanders is injured anyway, but he sucks. I think Henderson and Blue could be kind of like Rico Dowdle last year, where early in the season the Cowboys went a lot Elliott earlier, and then like they mixed in Dowdle, and then late in the year they went with more Dowdle, and I think that's going to happen here when they kind of realize that Javonte Williams is dust, and they're going to go to Blue more. With Hampton, talk about the Slater injury quickly. So Slater, obviously an elite left tackle, but I think this could help Hampton fantasy-wise. Now, as a runner, he might have a worse yards per carry average than expected. Maybe he drops by like 0.2, 0.3 or something like that, which, it hurts. But I think Slater being out could make the pass protection worse, which means Herbert's going to have to dump the ball off more often than he would normally. And so Hampton's receptions could increase. Like Hampton caught 38 passes last year, and, he's going to have the full workload there. Najee Harris can't even see right now. He has poor depth perception, and just I don't think he's going to be a serious player, potentially ever in his career, which is kind of sad for him. But that's the reality of the situation. And I think Hampton could just run away with the job, and I think he and Jeanty are on even ground. So again, I think Hampton mid third is a solid value, whereas like Jeanty should be going early third, late second, but he's just not. People are reaching for him. A couple other guys on this name on this list, Caleb Johnson. There's been negative reports about him in pass protection, but that was expected. I think he's going to take the early down work eventually, but he's going like 7th round, so there's a discount there. I'm taking him less often now than I was earlier in the summer. It's just because I like some of these other rookies more. Like Hampton elevated because Najee Harris is out. Henderson just looking great in training camp. Woody Marks too. I mean, Woody Marks been taking like 14th round or so. Charlie Campbell, again, Charlie had him on his sleepers list for the NFL draft, not actually for fantasy, before the NFL draft took place. And he catches a ton of passes. Joe Mixon has these foot issues that I don't think are going to go away. And Nick Chubb has no explosion. So unless the Texans trade for a running back, this could be the Woody Marks show. Woody Marks could be one of those league winners like Bucky Irving was last year. You're getting him around the same range. So I think he's a good value there. Great value, actually. Sampson, I was thinking him a little earlier when it was announced that Judkins would miss a lot of time here with his his legal disputes. It sounds like that's not going away. But I was quickly reminded not to take players on bad offenses. So if I get Sampson late, it's okay. I'd rather have Woody Marks. I'd rather have some other rookies there, but yeah, I'm okay taking Sampson. RJ Harvey, I'm just not getting to. It's going to be committee there no matter what. He's not getting the third down work either because his pass protection is like horrible. So he's not going to play on third down. So no, just an RJ Harvey. He's another guy who's going way too early. I think he should be going like 8th round. But as for Jeanty, again, like I think that he's just going way too early. He's being overdrafted. First round's crazy, I think. If he's going mid-second and you really like him, I think maybe you could take a chance there. But again, I have him as my 10th ranked running back. You can see my rankings on the site at walterfootball.com. So check that out. Please hit like and subscribe. Please definitely help us out. We just reached 5,000 subs on this fairly new channel, so it's pretty exciting. So thank you so much, guys. Just really appreciate it. But we'll be having new videos all the time. And again, live streams most weekday nights at 10:30, unless there are like games going on. Then obviously we can't do them then. But yeah, we do live mock drafts. So come check that out. You can join us in these live mock drafts. So that's always a lot of fun. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you in the next.